Hi, this is Glenda. Paula at Stampin' Antiques posted this little impossible box to her blog, and it's impossible because A, the lid is tight, but the lid's all in one, which is quite cute, and I'll put a link to her blog so you can get the instructions for that. And I thought I'd try a slightly bigger one because this is out of an A4 and this one's out of a 12 by 12, which gives you a taller box. And it opens like that. So it is quite cute. What I've done, if you want to do the little one, you can go to her blog and have a look at the instructions there. I've also made a studio file, and so if you have a Silhouette Studio, I've only done this size because I've only got a portrait which will only do up to A4. So I'll put a link to the studio file, and also in the zip will be this diagram for the 12 by 12. I hope, if I can get it into a file, because it's 12 by 12, it's too big. So I've worked out my measurements for this, so we'll quickly go through that, I hope. And I did it on single-sided paper, and then I had the issue of the deck, because what happens is the top of your box becomes the inside, it turns itself inside out at the top. So if you want it decorated, Paula on hers, she did inking and stamping, which works really well, and I was too lazy so I didn't. So you can do it the way she suggests, on plain white paper or whatever colour you want, or you can use double-sided, which is what I did here. I had my Silhouette file, I probably cut it at a slightly too deeper setting because I did have an issue with the perforations on the corners tearing on one corner, which is why I've added washi tape around it. But yeah, I used double-sided paper, and that's what I'm going to try now. But last time it was single-sided, and I could see my white lines a lot easier that I was doing. So I'll see if this works. So 12 by 12, the first score is going to be at 2 3/4, and I will do it all in inches because that's what my scoring board is in, and so is my piece of paper. And then 5 1/2, and then 8 1/4, and 11. And then we rotate it so that the small tab here comes down to the bottom. So it's 90 degrees. 2 3/4 again. And then we skip the next one to make it the 8 1/4. Then you also want one at 9 5/8. 9 5/8. And again at 11. Okay, so this is where it's going to get a little bit hard to see, but what we want to do is we have to cut out these triangles here. So if you measure down on each of these squares 1 3/8 and put a little mark, that will give you your triangle. So on this one that's in the middle, this is where the diagram will be helpful, because I know it was for me. So 1 3/8, I'm just hoping I'm going to be able to see that mark, and again 1 3/8, and 1 3/8. Ooh, that one's a bit hard to see. And 1 3/8. Hope I got those right. I didn't slip onto 5/8. I think we're doing good. Doing well. Okay, so the first one, we're cutting the triangle. Here's our diagram. So we're going to cut from the edge down to the first point. So it's that little, which is probably off the screen, sorry. So we're going to go from there down to there. And there's the first triangle. After that we need a knife, which I've got here somewhere, and a blade, so then we can cut across like that, and like that, that one. If I've done this right, and then we're just going to join up the triangle. Just found it's easier to do each one while you've got the ruler on the same angle. And now, where did it go? What's that one to that one? So then, in theory, if your cutting's better than mine, they should just pop out. Okay. So that's our triangle pieces taken out. Now we're going to make some tabs. Sorry, I'm just looking at my diagram. And the tabs are up here. So here we're going to cut this piece out here. So there's our first little tab, and then we leave this long piece and cut this piece out here. Okay, and last we want to cut these 4 flaps. And that line is really hard to see on the stripes. So then our long pieces we're going to fold, and our tabs. Now the top piece you're going to fold the other direction. I want this to be my outside pattern, so I want my top piece to fold down like that. So we do those top 2 folds like that. And then we go back and do the other folds facing inwards. Okay, so now it looks like that. Okay, so we want some sticky strip on the long flap. and on the bottom. I tried this last time and I still ended up with it wrong. It's the trouble if you only do a couple of something and then decide to get on and show everyone. Okay, so then I'll just slip those back again. And the top one has the tape on what you would consider the reverse side. Yeah. So just a bit on the little flap here. Okay. So now you can assemble. Make sure this stays folded over because it's really hard to fold it once you've assembled the sides. Okay. Okay, now you leave your flap for the moment. Now, in theory, I've got no tape on that, I've got tape on that, I've got tape on that, I've got tape on that. Right. Somehow I got it wrong last time. So the one without tape I'll leave out of the way. Part. And the next one. And the last one. And if you can, try and push those in to get them really stuck. Now for the lid, it just pushes down like that, and after you've pushed it down then you can take the tape off and tuck your flap in. Try and line that up and give it a little bit of leeway if you can. Somehow or other I have my flap tucked out. There we go. That's it. And that's the Impossible box. So I hope you've liked that, and thank you to Paula. I enjoyed doing that. I had a quick look to see if anybody else had it, and I couldn't, so it may well be Paula's own design, I'm not sure. But yeah, if you're looking for a nice little small gift box, there we go. Thank you for watching.